So welcome everyone to this Women in Geothermal UK talk. Today we're very lucky to have Meiting with us, who will be talking about the socio-economic benefits of geothermal energy as part of her research during university in Iceland. And Meiting is a technical marketing specialist for Arctic green energy that is based in Reykjavik, also in Iceland. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Meiting, who will be presenting and giving her talk.
Hello everyone, my name is Meiting, and thank you for Sharon for introducing. So I would like to talk about the socio-economic benefit of geothermal energy with a special focus on Iceland as a case study. I will first like to go over the content that I'm going to talk about. So first we will spend 10 minutes just talk about a little bit about myself, and then socio-economic benefit and the SDG goals. And then we will spend 10 minutes to talk about the geothermal energy sustainable solution. I will categorize to economic benefit and also the social benefit. And then I will spend most of the time today to talk about the case study Iceland. And I will introduce a little bit about Iceland, the geothermal resources, and then how Iceland developed geothermal energy. And then I will tell a little bit of successful story from Iceland, Blue Lagoon, and the Friheima, which is the tomato farm. And then I will tell about how this lesson learned in Iceland can transfer to other region. Then I will use our project location in China, Xiong'an. And then I will have the Q&A session. If you guys have any question, feel free to ask me during that session. So first, a little bit about myself, and I currently work at Arctic Green Energy as a technical and marketing specialist. And I'm also a member of the Women in Energy here in Iceland, and also a member of the Association of Business Women in Iceland. And last year I was also a board member of the climate change of the Icelandic Young Environmentalist Association. And I'm really passionate about energy and marketing sustainability, of course, international business. I study in the University of Iceland and also ETH Zurich. That's where I met Sharon. And also for my bachelor, I studied in China, Heilongjiang University. So I was originally from China, and now I'm living in Iceland with my little hamster, as you might see in the photo. And then a fun fact about myself, I'm a huge lover of animals and nature. So here you can see my good friend. And I also a spark expert, which means I utilize the geothermal energies on a daily basis. And so here I also, this topic actually very aligned with my master's thesis, which I did here in the University of Iceland, which is the environmental and social economic benefit of geothermal district heating. When I did in 2022, and I also put a link here if you want to read it over. There's a link on the last page. So when we talk about the socio-economic benefit of geothermal energy and allied it with SDG goals, what SDG goal can we use? I think there's 5 one that I would like to highlight, which is the good health and well-being, and of course the gender equality. And the 7 is the affordable and clean energy. And of course the A is that decent work and economic growth. And the last one is the 30 climate action that I would like to highlight. Of course, other SDG goal can be linked to this social economic benefit. And then there are 3 group of people I think is highly involved in the developing geothermal project. For example, the government, and then another group is the developer, which is can benefit from their skill development and also the community accession. And then the last big group is have a lot of benefits from geothermal energy is the community. which I think including all of us. For example, you can get more local employee opportunity, and of course also it can improve the income gender equality. And this actually is coming from the latest, I think, report from the World Bank, and they have just released a report about socioeconomic benefit of geothermal energy, and I will definitely recommend you guys to check out there. And yeah, if we go a little bit deeper on this economic benefit, I think the most easy to understand is the job creation. So how many jobs it can create and how it can benefit the economy. And I did this research in my master's thesis to compare geothermal development in different development stages. For example, the project starting, and then exploration, and of course the drilling and operation, and later total own. And that's how many jobs it can create per person per year. And then I also did a compare to natural gas, and you can see actually even though geothermal is not that well known as natural gas in the whole world yet, but you can see actually they can provide so much job opportunity and even higher than natural gas. And I also realized there was a new tool or like Excel model that has been developed to estimate the economic development impact from geothermal projects. And I also put a link here. You can definitely check it out later. And I will just quickly go through this subject or this benefit on the highlight. And then another one is the social benefit, which is social impact and community development. And we are living in this community or the social that we have a lot of issues. We cannot target all of them, but I want to highlight these two. The first one is, for example, the poverty and the bad living condition. And what geothermal can bring to this solution is, for example, the affordable energy supply for all. And not just affordable, but more secure, which means you have the domestic energy supply. And of course, have the more because of this, and you can have a better living condition. And another social issue that we are facing in the worldwide is the bad health and the air quality. And with geothermal energy, I think we can improve both indoor and outdoor air quality and lower the air pollution that caused by using fossil fuel, for example, to heat the house. And therefore, we will have a better health and better life quality. And here also, actually last year, I created this graphic, which is called 100 geothermal. Here is like, so I don't think I had to explain what is geothermal for you guys, but basically it's the energy from the core of the earth. And with that, with this energy, we can use in so many industry, like for example, here in Iceland, many people come here to see the glacier, so it contributes a lot to the tourism. And then of course for heating and cooling and bathing space, and it can generate electricity. So here's like a geothermal power plant, and also you can also contribute to geo health industry and also drying the food. And for example, there's an Icelandic company called Geosilica. They provide high quality silica production for skin and bones, and their production is from the geothermal water. And of course, there's other many different use case. Then I will talk about this in a bit later. And here I want to focus a little bit in Iceland. Iceland is very famous for the land of fire and ice. And here you can see on the right, on the left side, you can see this latest. There's a photo from the latest eruption in Iceland, and it can directly say what does it mean, fire and ice. And this is the latest volcano in Grindavík. And I really like this photo, so I put it here. And on the right side, you can see the whole island and the different, I would say, like icons of Iceland. And So basically, Iceland have rich geothermal resources, and you can see the whole country. Basically, the how do you say, the belt is around across the whole country, and there are many high temperature areas around the country. And when we talk about a high temperature here in Iceland, usually means 20 degree to 30 degree. And here you can see by ISO, they make a geothermal system overview of Iceland and how much how many megawatt it can produce, and then the depth of the wells. And I found this a very interesting AI generated photo about how can we use, for example, can we use geothermal and not just geothermal, but volcano energy in the future. And here there's a project, it's called Krafla Magma Test. So hopefully we can also use the not just the geothermal, but also the volcano energy in the future. And here I would like to show you a little bit how Iceland used geothermal energy, and that's the before-after photo and in the same location. So 1969 is a very important years for the geothermal development in Iceland. The first geothermal power plant, Bjarnarfjall power station, was built in this year. And today, roughly about 30% of the electricity and 90% of the space heating comes from geothermal power plants and the low temperature fields. And in this lake is in the downtown of Reykjavik. You can see what happened before. It was quite a lot of smoke, and people have the citizens living in this city suffering a lot due to the poor air quality. And now you can see it's a beautiful clear sky. And very important, if you go to this lake, there are many birds live there. So many birds choose this lake for their forever home. And this is a very important indicator for how the environment has been improved. And then, so first I will start this successful story from Iceland, which is a very famous Blue Lagoon. A funny fact about this one, when I came to Iceland as a tourist, I always dreamed about going to Blue Lagoon. And then when I came here to study, and then the first thing I note about this from my professor is it says Blue Lagoon is a very successful business because it uses a wastewater to generate a spa, and it has been very profitable business case in terms of using geothermal water or geothermal the water from geothermal power plant. And anyway, so the psycho-economic benefit is tending beyond for this create not just from the power plant, it's not just for the electricity. And it has, for example, in 2019, Blue Lagoon has posted a profit of $22 million US, and I think around 800 people are working there now. And here you can see that also the gender ratio is women are actually more than men, which is quite rare in this geothermal industry. And here on the right, you can see some overview of Blue Lagoon. And if you are ever come to Iceland, and I recommend you to visit there. And then another successful story for Iceland is the Friheima, is the local tomato farm. I personally just think it's amazing to eat local vegetables all year round, and it's sometimes a little bit hard to imagine that because Iceland is very hard to grow vegetables because it's very cold and dark. And yeah, but thanks to geothermal, we can have local fresh vegetables, and it's also very affordable. And here is the overview of the tomato farm. And I would like to point out the geothermal water is only like 200 meters away from these greenhouses, and it has been used actually for many years, but recently there's a family, they start this greenhouses business and using geothermal to heat up the water and to heat up the greenhouses and produce tomato. And yeah, it's a very nice place to visit in the summer and also in winter too. And then you might question about, okay, you have great resources in Iceland, and can we use it in somewhere else in the world? Because we might not have such good geothermal resources. Here, I would like to share a case for you guys, which is we have did it in Xiong'an in China. So in 2009, Xiong'an have very poor air quality due to they use a lot of fossil fuel to heat up the town, and a lot of people suffering from the poor air quality. And even before COVID, many people had to wear a mask just to prevent themselves for suffering the outdoor poor air quality. But then we have this JV between Iceland and China. So we bring this Icelandic solution to China and start in 2009. We started to build this infrastructure, and now this place has much clean, and it's a home to 1.8 million people now, and the heating capacity is 7.2 million square meter. In China, it's very common to use floor heating, and not like here in Iceland, we're using the oven or the general heater. And it's more comfortable, and I think it's also getting more and more popular in Europe because it's more comfortable for human body. And then this is a mix of heating, cooling, energy storage, and also PV generation. And we are also developing other more like a smart city and using this. But the base load is geothermal energy. And here on the right, you can see the beautiful sunrise in Xiong'an New area. And talking about the impact, so this place has been selected as the China's first smoke-free city as a national showcase in 2014, and that and then also selected by IRENA, which is the International Renewable Energy Agency, as the showcase for global energy transition. And then I think very importantly for people who live there every day, they have a better life quality, and with cleaner air, better health, and also cheaper heating energy. And yeah, I think my presentation is finished, and if you had any question, feel free to ask me.
Yes, everyone. So if anyone has any questions, if they can just put it in the questions part of the GoTo, or if you can't find that, there's also the chat, so I'll check that as well. But in the meantime, actually, I had one question, Meiting. So you said that one thing that geothermal can be used for is in the cosmetics industry, and I just wanted to know, is it the heat that is used to drive the processes, or is it to do with the minerals, or potentially the compounds within any geothermal fluid that drive this?
Yes, so for example, for the cosmetic industry, I think there's a very famous products from BioEffect skincare products, and they use, so basically the ingredient is the grade, and they are using this, they're using geothermal heat to grow this grade or this plant in their greenhouses, and they're using this as a very important component for their products.
Okay, so yeah, so it's basically using geothermal to power their or provide the heating for their processes. And yeah, I've seen a lot of examples of this work, like geothermal working in tandem with different, energies or chemical processes. So no, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, and also like I mean, they have like a lab, actually very close to Greendavi, where they have lots of earthquake and the erosion. But I think they probably moved the greenhouses a little bit because the erosion. But as I understand, they're using also the water, like geothermal water. They are heating by geothermal, and there was yeah. But basically, I think mostly they're using geothermal energy to grow the grate. Or you can see in here this plant, they are growing this, and they take EG, I think it's called the growth factor, which is like a and proven to improve your skin structure and also for anti-aging. Yeah.
It's there that I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in. Okay, so I'm just checking. So I haven't had any questions through yet. Yeah, let me just see.
Yeah, I think I finished a little bit earlier, but
that's okay.
maybe
I mean,
have more time to ask questions if you have any.
Well, I just actually wanted, maybe I can go on a bit more about my thoughts. So with the China project that you have,
this one,
you said it was the first smog-free city, which is quite significant given China's past or what we're used to seeing on with quite polluted cities. Is it because geothermal heating systems were able to replace individual sort of oil heating systems that produced the emissions directly within the city, or is it because I can see that as number one?
So Xiong'an is located more in the north part of China. In the winter, they usually use fossil fuel like natural gas or even coal before to heat it up the city, and then the geothermal is served as heating solution for them in the winter to heat it up the building or their houses.
So the emission reduction, as in from the smog, was because people had their own individual systems within the city?
So basically, this city, I think, is a cooperation between Iceland and China, and they rebuild the whole let's say infrastructure to using geothermal as an energy to heat it up, and that's why you can see a lot of houses there. Carbon there is quite new, and their infrastructure is connected to the geothermal and resources. And also one point I want to mention here, they don't have a very high temperature like here in Iceland, 200 and 300. They have temperature around 60, 50 to 80. So it's medium to low, I would say, the resources they have. But we're using that, meaning we're using this geothermal the resources only for heating or cooling the city, no producing the electricity like here in Iceland.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, so you say that a lot of the buildings were new. So were they able to easily retrofit, or were they? How did they replace? Was it a big task to replace the gas systems or the oil systems or the coal systems into geothermal systems? Are you?
I think they gradually to do that, but I mean that's a very good question, because there are some foundation, maybe few. Also in these few years, there's the inhabitant almost double. You can see it's 1.1 million before, and then now it's like 1.8 million people, and still growing. So I would say the new building are usually very like they're using the geothermal floor heating, but there are some old one, and it have to change to the geothermal floor heating. It might take some times, and but in China usually the construction speed is very fast. And compared to here in Europe.
So I've heard. Okay, that's interesting, because it looks like they were able to make this transition within 5 years, which is very impressive.
Yeah, I know. It sounds a little bit unbelievable, especially if you get used to the construction speed here in Europe. But in China, is 5 years is very long. And I remember during COVID, the Chinese construction team even built a hospital in 3 or 2 days. Was it? It was just crazy. Yeah, but yeah. I was there myself last year in Xiong'an area. Is amazing. It's very modern, and my colleague was there too, and then he was in China like 20 or 50 years ago, and he says it's a new country for him. Like it's totally different from what it was in 50 years ago. Yeah.
Great. So, not any questions. Oh wait, there are some questions in the question box. Are there? I can't see them. Oh yes, let me just find. You make them bigger.
I think I can see it. The first one is from Alessandra. What do you think the UK can learn from Iceland's approach?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also a very good question. I think we were actually in touch with the NHL or NHS hospital in in UK. I think maybe 1 year ago. But what UK can learn from Iceland is maybe just utilize more the geothermal potential, and education. I think is very important too, because people are start to build this awareness of what is geothermal. Many people are not aware of the system of geothermal because they cannot see it. Not like here, for example, in Iceland, you can see the glacier, like the hot spring. But I would say sometimes geothermal is more like a hidden treasure that you buried underneath the earth, and also not just from Iceland, but also from China. You can see you don't need very high temperature to heat the houses, and you can use low temperature too. And there are many different ways to use geothermal energy in the different temperature, and there are also many possibilities. Like for example, for the greenhouses, you need 100, and for agriculture and for fish farming, maybe you had some in the UK too, and it can be low to 60 or even lower. So, but you also need a lot of people to work on that and to build up this awareness. I think, for example, in Iceland, everyone is involved in the geothermal. Like many people, many kids, they grow up in the swimming pool, and they go there as a daily practice. So geothermal is not a new concept for them. But for the UK, it's very important to start to to learn from Iceland is to educate more people and to tell more about the geothermal, what it is and what can it do, and how can it how to say allocate in different industry. And also for the policymaker, it's very important thing or work for them to do too, because I think, as I remember, let me see. So basically, in Iceland, they changed to geothermal. It's not because they really like this energy, but I think when they change it, they don't have a choice, because it's very expensive to import oil and gas from the country. And they have to look around, and then they dig deeper, and then they found the geothermal energy. And then they decide to change the city's infrastructure and do the planning. So it's more like a political or this decision. Yeah. And then nowadays, I think Iceland is the cheapest country in Europe you can for heating and using geothermal for heating. And it's thanks to that what happened in 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I hope I answer your question, Alessandra. I will move on to the next one. Does Iceland have stand-alone geothermal heating system, or okay? Does Iceland has stand-alone geothermal heating system, or it is just district heating schedule? So Iceland have like the biggest, I would say, like a district heating company is called WwW, and it's a little mix of so for Reykjavik, the city, I would just say I would just take Reykjavik as an example. WwW is mainly serving the capital area, which is the Reykjavik city, and then the geothermal district heating is the heating how to say, the geothermal water coming from the two geothermal power plant nearby. And I think the pipeline is about 26 kilometers, if I remember correctly, and it go all the way to Reykjavik. And then around the city, there are tanks that they can storage geothermal water in case there was a peak hour. So the biggest one is, I think it can cover the city for like 18 hours use, like if there's a peak use. So in this way, it can prevent citizen more like a reliable energy use. And the next one is Rebecca. Do you think there is a large impact on the social economy benefit between low and high empathy environments? Do you mean, can I talk to the people who asked it? Just to
I think they're all on mute, so if you want me to rephrase the question, I can. I think what Rebecca is asking is there a large impact or socio-economic difference between shallow systems or sort of deep electricity producing geothermal systems?
It's actually a very good question too, and I think it's a little bit hard to say. It really depends. For example, there are some like for example, for the no empathy environment, you can there are many jobs around that too. For example, the district heating and also like the spa, like Blue Lagoon, you don't need very high temperature, and there are many direct or indirect jobs around that. For high empathy environment, of course, there are some jobs like related to construction and at a reservoir engineering job, those kind of job. So I think there's no like report or the study specific research on that. But personally, as far as I know, I think there are many job different category that can link to this low or high empathy. Yeah, so I think I have finished the question here, and if you don't have more,
I think that looks like it. But yeah, that was an interesting point on. Carry on.
Yeah. So, how can I close this? Okay, so I would like to use this one sentence to finish my presentation today, which I believe the geothermal energy can bring in green, reliable, affordable heating and cooling solution to the community, improve our life quality and contribute to a sustainable future. And I would like to just say thank you and Tafiri in Icelandic. And here is my email if you want to be in touch for further question or collaboration. And you can also contact me through LinkedIn here. So thank you everyone for your question and your time. I'm looking forward to meet you in person or for the future collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meiting, for your thoughts and your presentation on Iceland's geothermal. So I think we can close the meeting. A lot of people are